Hello, everybody. Captain Marty here. It is Wednesday, January the 15th. We're halfway through the week and we're halfway through the month. There's still fish to be caught, including some great big ones, really big ones. I'll tell you all about that when I come back in just a moment.
Ahoy there, folks. Captain Edward Lee here, and I want to invite you aboard the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. She's a modern 60-foot head boat outfitted with the latest top-quality safety and fishing equipment. We make 3 trips per day out of the world-famous Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Visit MissOregonInlet.com or call us today at 252-251-4314. So ditch the beach for a bit and set sail with the Miss Oregon Inlet 2.
At Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway, not only can you get stocked up with all the bait, tackle, and amenities necessary to fish, but you can also be your own captain. That's right. At Fishing Unlimited, you can rent one of their spacious pontoon boats to go fishing, crabbing, dolphin watching, or just to cruise the Roanoke Sound. It's family fun at its finest. Half-day and full-day rentals are available. Be your own captain at Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway.
So here we are in the middle of January, and we are just doing the best we can to come up with something. The hardcore people are still fishing in the surf, and this gets to be a time when we have more of the locals finally getting a chance to go fishing, and there has been a pretty good bite down on Hatteras Island. I heard that yesterday there was some puppy drum caught from Cape Point down to the inlet, the Hatteras Inlet. And then I also heard of a pretty decent bite of puppy drum and a few black drum down on Ocracoke Island. And all I can tell you is go put in your time and check with some of the locals down there. You might find out a little better information. But here it is, middle of January, and there are still fish to be caught at least in the ocean. And that's on the small end of the scale. On the big end of the scale, man, they're the big bluefin tuna that the guys are searching for right now, mostly out of Oregon Inlet, are called giants for a good reason. There was at least one that was caught this past week that was right at 1,000 pounds. That one on the Speechless. And then there were several others that were 700 to 1,000 pounds, and numerous fish caught in the 600-pound range. So the bites are there, the fish are there. That is not for the faint-hearted. You're spending your whole day trying to get one fish, but that fish will be a fish you can tell your grandkids about forever. And that's a bucket list type thing. In many cases, the fish are marketed on the commercial fish market, and they used to be worth a lot more per pound than the figures I'm seeing now, but that's still a fish that's a desirable catch to take and ship into the seafood market. So that bite is going on. I also heard from one of the charter boat guys, there's a few yellowfins still around as well, and that's encouraging. January yellowfins, I've seen it before, but remember, we didn't have a great fall tuna season on the yellowfin, so maybe they'll pick away at some. That's a good way to get your charter a few eaten tuna to take home if you don't get the giant. So a lot of activity still, and we'll continue to keep you posted on all of that. Now, what else have we got going on? We'll talk a little bit about the surf. We already have. Water temperatures in the mid-50s, and things are just kind of cold right now, but there's still a black drum and a puppy drum to be caught. As mentioned, a few small sharks. And the further south you go, the better off your chances are if you're able to now get enough time to go fishing yourself. We'll take a little break right here, and I'll come back and talk to you about the cold water and what's happening in the backcountry.
At the south end of Roanoke Island, a quiet little village, lies a marina known for having one of the finest fishing fleets on the Outer Banks. Whether it be an offshore excursion, a nearshore charter, or headboat fishing, Wanchese Marina is where to go. Wanchese Marina is a full-service marina, complete with a fueling dock, bait, tackle, ice, and the landing grill restaurant. All of this is just a few minutes from some of the finest fishing spots around. Book online at wanchesemarina.com. Wanchese Marina, 4457 Mill Landing Road, Wanchese.
So in the backcountry is mostly the Pamlico Sound and its estuaries right now, as far as our group goes. Most all of that fishing is on the western side of the Sound. and the water temperatures are cold, very cold. I'm not over there looking myself, and I don't really speak too much about ice. There's a little skim ice around Englehart is what I've seen in the ditches, but I've heard of a few slow moving fish, but I personally have not heard of anything major as far as ice and cold stunned fish. That's a good thing. So the speckled trout bite is probably still available to you, but you have to use a lot of common sense and caution when you're fishing this time of year. And you're going to also have to find out where they lay up in the wintertime to try to stay a little bit warm. I can't answer that question because I'm not a speckled trout fisherman. But all of you that are regulars have friends that can steer you in the right direction. And this is where you need to also rely on your local tackle shops too, to give you some information that you're not going to find in a big box store where you might have saved $1 on tackle, but did not get all that free information that's so important. So that's what's going on there. And as we approach the weekend, I've been talking a little this week about the Mattamuskeet Decoy Festival, put on by the Hyde County Waterfowl Association. We are in the middle of the Atlantic Flyway. We are on the largest lake in the state of North Carolina, which would be Lake Mattamuskeet. And between the impoundments, the lake, and the Sound Shore, it's not a good place to fly over if you're a duck. You should try to divert to somewhere like Kansas, maybe. Anyway, these guys love it, and I appreciate that. And they're having their decoy festival. That will be at the Mattamuskeet School. That's the high school. It's really all the schools in Hyde County. It's the all-in-one school in the gym cafeteria area this Saturday, 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And there's a lot of things that'll be going on. There'll be decoy carvers and demos on how to carve. There'll be some decoys trading, swapping, selling, a swan calling contest, a little bit of artwork on sale, a silent auction, and plenty of food available at numerous concessions: hot dogs, barbecue, crab cakes, sausage wraps, and stewed oysters. And you just pay for them at the concession, and the cost to get in the door, this is the good part, $5. So you can make a really great day. Like I said yesterday, if you're coming over from the beach, I highly recommend making the big loop. That means, let's say you leave Manio, Dare County, anywhere in Dare County. Maybe come over and drive over to Columbia and then drop down on 98 south, and you'll go about 40 miles and you'll come to Lake Mattamuskeet, and you'll get to tour the lake, go right across the causeway. It's 7 miles across the lake. And when you come to the stop sign at the far end, you'll be at Highway 264. The high school will be right there to your right. And then you can enjoy the Decoy Festival. And when you're done with that, come back on Highway 264. Go back into Englehart, and you'll come through Stumpy Point and Mans Harbor. So it's like a big circle, and there's some good restaurants on the way if you want to stop at the steakhouse or Martell's or anywhere else. At Beck's, there's just good places to eat on a Saturday in Hyde County, or you can enjoy the concessions. So that's all that's happening in my neck of the woods. I hope you all have a great day and be safe out on that sound.